Good evening and thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Terry McFadden. It's a story you'll only see on 16 News Now. A former Mishawaka police officer is speaking out after Mayor Dave Wood's son was pulled over in October. Investigative reporter Carly Luca has been following this story closely for us. And Carly, what does this now retired officer have to say about that particular traffic stop?
Terry, the former Mishawaka officer I sat down with today has a lot to say about that night in October and how what followed changed his professional life. Though we are concealing his identity, what he has to share sheds new light on how Mishawaka responded to that incident. An officer planning to serve the city of Mishawaka for his entire law enforcement career.
I put my 20 years in. I was planning on working for 32 total years to put me at 55.
He says his plans were cut short after Mayor Dave Wood's son, Joe, was pulled over in October.
There was a traffic stop that occurred that was handled in a way that could be questionable. The initial officer approached me before I had exited my car and advised me that it was the mayor's son and he was intoxicated. He stated he was bombed.
The supervisor that evening, Captain Beckham, was notified of the stop. But when Beckham arrived on scene, he told other responding officers he would, quote, take care of it. That despite the fact that Wood was not tested to see if he had been drinking. Do you think a field sobriety test should have been conducted?
Based on the statements that were made by the officer that made the traffic stop, I believe so.
Causing concern for this now retired officer. Were you surprised that the traffic stop ended with no repercussions or really any further investigation?
Yes, I was. I was a little taken back for obvious reasons. I don't think discretion should have been used there. I think that's a situation where you have to do your job.
So he tried to talk to the chief to let him know what happened that night.
And I wanted it to be known that, hey, this is how things are being handled. This is what's representing you as an administration. Whether it was taken seriously or not, I don't know. That conversation spread through the department, and I was ostracized for that. Like I said, I was called out for doing what I thought was right.
The hostility that he says followed led him to change his career plan.
It left me with really no choice but to retire because I wasn't going to work under those conditions.
Despite retiring, he says the conflict didn't end, saying he wasn't allowed to use police facilities normally open to retirees, like the gym.
I think it was retaliatory for bringing to light the incident that occurred.
He says this all happened because he spoke out.
This all stemmed from me providing the details of what happened that night.
But he has no regrets. Would you do anything differently?
No, absolutely not. I did what I knew was right, and that's what I took an oath to do, and that's what I'll continue to do in the future.
Still, he's concerned about a lack of accountability at the Mishawaka Police Department.
I don't think accountability is held equally across the board. I think that that's an issue. And I think it'll continue to be an issue until changes are made. Otherwise, you're going to have situations arise where people aren't treated equally.
Now, as you may recall, 2 weeks ago, Mayor Wood issued a statement saying he expects everyone to be treated fairly under the law and that he didn't find out about the traffic stop involving his son until after the fact. Mishawaka police say the incident is under administrative review, but there have been no new updates from them, and they've continued to decline any interviews related to this traffic stop.
Carly Luca reporting live tonight from the newsroom. Carly, appreciate the update. Thank you.